central theme in almost everyone's life, like the overriding context of who they are and what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing, and literally the purpose of your life. I think many people ask questions about, I don't know what I'm here for. I know that there's something more that I'd like to do, but I just feel stuck. I want to find something that I'm going to do, like, I want to be a florist, or I want to raise horses out in Montana, or, something that they're looking for, which is, to me, erroneous. It's not the way to go with this. That if you just take a look at the way that we are raised in our society, especially in the Western world, but it's literally true all over the planet, that we come into this world and we're really, I often say that the first 9 months of your life, from the moment of your conception until your birth, until you plop out, you're not doing anything. Everything, you're just being done. Everything is happening. It's, you don't have to worry about whether things show up on time or whatever. It's all, the context is there's a greater force taking care of everything. And then we come into this world, we show up, our nose is in the right place, our arms are in the right place, everything is, it's like we had nothing absolutely to do with it. We surrendered to it, we let it go, we let it happen. And then we're surrounded by all of these people in our lives that called our parents, our family, our culture, our religions, our schools, our business, all of this stuff, just like we get inundated with it. And essentially what we're taught is that who you are is not something that you can just surrender to and just trust, that you are now about to embark on a journey called ambition. And this journey of ambition is to, it's almost as if you say, nice work, God, you did a great job, beautiful little thing, we'll take over from here. And the minute that we start taking over, we have our parents and our culture and all of this start taking over, we have let go of the surrendering process, which is what we had to do in the first 9 months of our life. We just surrendered, we just let go. Our mothers and whatever, everything just sort of, evolves perfectly. The assumption that I have behind that is that isn't just true in the physical, the physical realm, the physical aspect of ourselves. Like nobody out there gets to decide how tall they're going to be, what color their hair is going to be, when things are going to happen, when their hair is going to fall out, if it's going to change color, and so on. All of that is just handled for us. We just surrender to that and we accept the body that we get and so on. I've often felt that if there's a future pull from a tiny little microscopic dot that allows everything in our physical journey to be perfect, and what it's going to be, to live however long it's going to live and then to die and so on, that it's not too great a stretch to assume that all of the things that we think about and our emotions and our purpose and what we're here to do and all of that, if we were to figure out a way to live the way we did the first 9 months of our life, just to surrender, just to allow, just to become the observer, to notice whatever it is that is taking place, and just say, oh, isn't that nice? His eyes are going to be this shape, or they're going to be that, and you don't get to do anything about that. It's just, it's all handled for us by this great grand source, or God, or spirit, or soul, or whatever you want to call it. So what happens is that we take on and we develop this thing that's called an ego, and this ego is, I say facetiously, it's edging God out, E-G-O. Like we trusted God, we trusted in whatever this source is, we trusted in the Tao, whatever you want to call it, we trusted. Now we come here and we say, okay, now we'll just edge you out. And we take on this ego. And this ego is this huge thing that we learn that is almost all about ambition. And then a shift begins to take place in our lives. That I want to go from ambition and accumulating and getting ahead and winning and defeating and so on. You begin to realize how unfulfilling that is and how it doesn't really provide you with and you begin to get a sense of the limited amount of time that you have in this incarnation, in this time that you have, and that so much of your time is wasted on trying to get ahead of the other guy. And I want to share something here. It's a statement from one of the great teachers in my life, Carl Jung,
And I was trained in sort of Jungian therapy and Jungian analysis and so on, and he wrote something called Stages of Life. It says, thoroughly unprepared, we take the step into the afternoon of life. Worse still, we take this step with the false presupposition that our truths and ideas will serve us as hitherto. But we cannot live the afternoon of our life according to the program of life's morning. For what was great in the morning will be little at evening, and what in the morning was true will at evening have become a lie. Well, these words really resonated with me from Carl Jung's The Stages of Life. And if I could reword that, basically what he is saying is that as we move into the meaning phase of our life, the afternoon of our life, we are taking the ideas and the constructs and the rules and the guidelines and the provisions that we learned in the morning of our life, which is focused exclusively on ambition and getting ahead and getting more and being better than everybody else. We take those same kind of constructs into the afternoon of our life when meaning is far superior to ambition. But as he says in here, we end up living a lie. And the lie is because what was true for us in the morning, which is I have to get ahead, I have to win, I have to be the most successful and so on, in the afternoon have become a lie. But we don't know how to move into the meaning phase of our life. And the meaning phase of our life is the time when we shift back to the time in our life when we were in our mother's womb in those first 9 months. That's the meaning phase where we have surrendered, where we have, as Lao Tzu said, you're doing nothing, you're just being done, you know? And we can find our meaning by trusting in our nature, by recognizing that I am here to do more than just accumulate and be better than somebody else. In fact, it has absolutely nothing to do with it. One of my great teachers early in my life was Abraham Maslow, and I remember him saying very specifically that if you want to become self-actualized, if you want to live a life of meaning, the first thing you have to do is become independent of the good opinion of other people. The first thing you have to do. And the second thing is to become detached from the outcome. Those were the top two criteria for highly functioning people. Independent of the good opinion of other people, which is exactly the opposite of what we learned in the ambition phase of our life, and detachment from outcome, which is the other opposite. You know, instead of, it's like, we don't go out there to try to make, you know, to do something to make a lot of money. That's, you know, detachment from outcome is like you don't do it because of how much money you're going to make. You do it because there's something inside of you here that is telling you this is what you're here for. This is what you have to create. This is what your purpose is. You're going to make the world a better place. You're going to fulfill a destiny, a dharma that you signed up for, you know, before you even entered your mother's womb. I mean, that's the kind of thing that you begin to feel inside of yourself, so that you're moving into that stage. But you want to move into what Jung calls the afternoon of your life. You want to move into that armed with a whole collection of practices and beliefs and guidelines that work for you, rather than work against you. So that you're not trying to feel fulfilled and meaningful and purposeful in your life by setting goals, by trying to get ahead of the other guy, by trying to win, by worrying about how much money you're going to make, by worrying about whether it's going to be liked, by whether other people like it. And that just goes back to, you know, the ego says it's all about your reputation. So learn to get a good reputation, learn to get people to like you. It's why people have such a problem with politics and political people, because they're consistently out there just trying to, whatever group they're talking to get them to agree with them, and then they say something different, and there's no meaning and power in them.